Certainly a low-scoring affair against the Patriots, but of course it's not about the score in the preseason. And to talk about that, I'm joined once again by Times-Picayune and NOLA.com writer Larry Holder. Larry, you were in New England all week long enjoying the chowder and the accents and all that stuff. What were your impressions with the growth of the team as they moved forward into that second preseason contest?
I think it was good to have the practices. The game, 7-6, nothing. Yeah. I'm sure coaches are watching tape and finding things that maybe we might not understand. But I think it was good for the Steve Spagnuolo defense to go up against Tom Brady. And honestly, I think it was good for Drew Brees to go up against a different defense that he is not accustomed to. With that being said, but like I said, the game, practice, I think that's where they got their best work.
Yeah, the game is for evaluation. We've been talking about that a lot. But evaluating the defense, I'm liking what I'm seeing out there. We're seeing some signs of improvement, and the guys are buying what Steve Spagnuolo is selling.
Oh, absolutely. I think Steve Spagnuolo's got to be doing cartwheels in the film room because he's seeing things. He's seeing turnovers, which we didn't see last year. The Saints were 31st in the NFL in creating turnovers, and that coming from a couple of years ago when they lived off turnovers in the Super Bowl year. But you're seeing pressure on the quarterback. I've seen Curtis Lofton. He's playing great. I figured he would be able to fill in nicely for Vilma, and he's already doing nice things. And then, like I said, getting pressure on the front four. That's key to Steve Spagnuolo's defense. You're seeing that. You saw that in the first game. Even Cedric Ellis getting pressure. And then in this game, to me, Akeem Hicks, their defensive tackle, their rookie, who helped create a turnover in the Patriots game. He is a guy that you wouldn't have thought got the scheme that quick, but he talked to me. I talked to him after the game, and he said, "Scheme. The scheme is great." Everyone's preaching about the scheme now. It's still learning, but obviously, definitely the positive coming out of that Patriots game.
And still installs to be done this week, of course, and as we approach the Washington game. But you mentioned it. Guys putting their hands on the ground, causing that pressure. It's helped a lot of people, especially the guys in the secondary, because that changes their whole mindset, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
How about Marquise Johnson, for example?
Yes, making the interception, and he's had a good camp. He, Johnny Patrick, and also you've seen some flashes from Corey White. Right now, they're 3, 4, and 5 on the depth chart, Patrick, Johnson, and White, and you've seen that because of the injuries. Jabari Greer's been hurt, Patrick Robinson's been hurt. Robinson should be returning this week. But you've got to see that, and I think Steve Spagnuolo's had to like that. But Marquise Johnson, with that interception off of the Hicks hit. And you haven't seen that in the last maybe couple of seasons. They've been put on an island, and it's been tough because you haven't been able to get pressure to quarterback. You get pressure, you cause turnovers, easier life for the secondary.
Offensively, team was a little bit stale. Okay, well, you saw a couple of series out of Drew Brees out there, vanilla playbook, and the fact that they have been practicing it against the Pats all week. But that kind of practice, as you mentioned, and that extra preseason game has got to help the offense.
Yeah, I think so. It will, and you might say Drew Brees, well, he hasn't been around for the whole offseason. He may underplay that. It still does help him. And it also helps in some of the position battles and trying to figure things out. How do you divvy up play time at running back? And, of course, wide receiver, you got spots 4 and 5 wide open. Lots of bodies that are competing for that position.
Well, and you talk about the receivers, and Coach Joe Vitt, the interim head coach, has said numerous times, we're not in the business of giving out scholarships here with the Saints. That fourth receiver's position is going to be wide open, and Courtney Roby is making himself a great case for that.
Yeah, Courtney Roby, known for special teams play. He's been on the roster since 2008 and has caught one pass his entire career with the Saints, and he's been on the roster the entire time. But you're seeing more from him, and you're seeing more from Andy Tanner, a guy who lived on and off the practice squad all last season. And that's because Adrian Arrington's hurt. We don't really know the extent of the injury. It might be long-lasting. Nick Toon gets hurt in his first really good practice in training camp. Joe Morgan's out there, but he's kind of up and down, not being the same Joe Morgan he was last training camp, which kind of got buzz, and he probably would have made the team. So lots to be had there at receivers 4 and 5 on this roster.
All right, let's talk about the running back situation. Chris Ivory seems to be slipping down the depth chart a little bit. Am I misconceiving that?
No, he saw snaps after Travaris Cadet did in that New England game. That kind of opened my eyes a little bit there too. Not the same kind of running back, and people are wondering, well, Ivory's this bruiser type guy. Well, if Ivory can't hold on to the football, and we know his injury past, you got to go a different direction. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but Cadet is pushing for Ivory's spot because I think spots 1, 2, and 3 are completely secure in the backfield. Pierre, Darren Sproles, Mark Ingram.
All right, looking forward to Friday night. Jacksonville Jaguars are in town. Saints with their first preseason game at home. What do you think they're going to be trying to accomplish in that game?
Offensively, they're going to try to want to get a tempo. Drew Brees is going to play longer. 2 3 and outs don't cut it for Drew Brees, and that's what happened in New England. They're going to try that. And, of course, more Steve Spagnuolo defense. Maybe they try some new things that they install. But you'll see more of the starters. I think that's a good thing. You might see Patrick Robinson also playing as well. Jimmy Graham's supposed to be back as well. So you'll be seeing some of these injured guys come back and more first-team units offensively and defensively.
More something like NFL football.
Something like that. Let's hope at least.
That's right. All right, Larry, thank you so much. Larry Holder, TimesPicayune, NOLA.com. Thank you so much for coming by and
Absolutely,
for your
Fred.
insights. We'll do this again, and we'll look forward to hearing from you more during, of course, the Saints during our Friday night pregame show leading up to kickoff between the Jags and the Saints.